In a time that was not so long ago, in a kingdom not very far from here, there lived a beast. I mean, the most horrible beast that you could ever imagine. The beast stood 10 feet tall. Its body was covered by coarse hair. It had two strong back legs and two shorter front legs with claws that stuck out 3 feet. This beast had two fiery eyeballs on either side of its head, and one more big fiery eyeball in the middle of its forehead. But worst of all, the beast had 1,000 razor sharp teeth. Now, everyone in this village lived in fear of the beast because in the morning, he would wait on the edge of farm fields. And as the farmers went out to work the land, why, that beast would pluck them up out of the fields and eat them for breakfast. At lunchtime, while moms and children were sitting down at tables to eat a meal, the beast would wait outside their windows and reach a claw inside and pluck them right out of their chairs and eat them. And at night, when it got dark out, why, the beast would come down into the village looking for someone to eat for supper. Now, everyone in that village lived in fear of the beast. And because of that, there was not much joy or happiness there. And when it got dark out each night, why, they would lock themselves up tight in their houses for fear that the beast would eat one of them for supper. Now, in this kingdom, there was a bakery shop. And in that bakery shop, they made the best donuts in all the land. In that shop, they made chocolate covered donuts. Ooh, yum. In that shop, they made jelly filled donuts. Ooh, yum. In that shop, they made colored sprinkled donuts. Ooh, yum. And best of all, they made sweet pink strawberry cream frosted donuts. Ooh, yum. Now, in that bakery shop, there was a little boy whose name was Sam. Sam was the son of the baker, and he had an important job every day. It was Sam's job to take a tray of donuts up to the palace every morning and deliver that tray of donuts to the king. His favorites were the pink, sweet, frosted donuts. Now, in that bakery, they made those donuts, but not even that was enough to cheer people up. You see, everyone got so fearful of the beast that one day the king decided that he had to do something. And that day he came out on his great balcony and he called all of his subjects to gather below. And the king announced that if anyone in the kingdom could get rid of the beast, he would give that person 100 bags of gold. Now, little Sammy heard that announcement and he got excited. He thought, if I could be the person that got rid of the beast with 1,000 terrible teeth, I would have 100 bags of gold. And that day when they went home, he turned to his father and he said, I'm going to get rid of the beast. I'm going to earn us 100 bags of gold. But his father said, oh, nonsense, Sammy. You're just a little boy. How would you ever get rid of a beast like that? Now forget your foolish thinking and take this tray of donuts up to the castle before it gets too dark. Now Sammy just rolled his eyes at his dad, but all he could think about was how he was going to earn 100 bags of gold by getting rid of that beast. And as he headed up the path to the castle, the way he had so many days before, he wasn't thinking about where he was going. All he was thinking about was how to get rid of the beast. And at one point on his journey, he snapped out of his thinking and he looked around and realized that nothing looked familiar. Sammy thought, I must have taken a wrong turn. I better go back. And so he backtracked, but still nothing looked familiar. Sammy started to panic a little bit. And he took that tray of donuts and first he ran in this direction, but that wasn't right. And then he turned and ran in this direction. But that wasn't right either, until finally Sammy was so lost, he was running around in circles. And then, on the edge of the village, he heard a rumbling sound, a very rhythmic rumbling sound, and he knew it was the beast who was coming into the village to look for someone to eat for supper. Sammy grabbed that tray of donuts and he started to run down the hill. And he ran until finally he ran into the village. And he came to a whole row of houses. Sammy ran up to the first house and he pounded on the door and he said, "Please, please let me in. I'm out in the streets with the beast." But the people behind that locked door said, "No, we won't let you in. If we do, the beast is going to eat us." Sammy grabbed that tray of donuts and ran to the next house. He pounded on the door and said, "Please, will you please let me in? I'm out here in the streets with the beast." But the people behind that locked door just said, "Go away." Poor Sammy. He started to run to the next house when the earth was shaking and the windows were rattling and the beast was gaining on him. Finally, he turned around and saw that the beast was coming. He dropped his tray of donuts and dove underneath the porch of that house, hoping that the beast would not find him there. The beast got closer. The earth shook. Sammy watched as two clawed paws came down and picked up his tray of donuts. The beast ate the entire tray of donuts in one gulp. And then Sammy watched as claws came down and closer and underneath the porch and grabbed Sammy around the waist. And then the beast brought him up until poor Sammy was eye to eye with the beast. He saw the fiery eyes on both sides of his head. He saw the one big fiery eye in the middle of the beast's forehead. He saw 1,000 razor sharp teeth, and Sammy was squirming. He said, "Please, don't eat me. You don't want to eat me." The beast said, "Why wouldn't I eat you? The donuts are gone, and you look pretty tasty." Sammy said, "Oh, that's terrible. You have really bad breath." Sammy said, "No, wait a minute. My dad owns the best bakery in the whole village. We make donuts, those donuts. If you don't eat me, I will make you as many donuts as you want." The beast looked at Sammy, looked at that empty tray of donuts, looked back at Sammy and said, "I really like the donuts. I like the pink ones best. If you make me more donuts, I won't eat you." And the beast opened up his pocket, put Sammy inside, and was planning to take him home. Now, on the way home to the beast's cave, they stopped at the marketplace. The beast hid behind the market while Sammy went and bought flour and sugar and eggs and strawberries, everything that he would need to make more donuts for the beast. And no one at the marketplace suspected anything, for Sammy often went there to buy supplies for the bakery. The beast put Sammy back in his pocket and carried the bags of goods and led Sammy back to the cave where he lived. And when Sammy walked into that cave, he saw that it was a gruesome sight. The floor of the cave was littered with bones, the bones of all the people that beast had eaten over the years. In one corner of the cave, there was a stack of dirty dishes. In the other corner, a stack of dirty socks. Ooh, yuck. But Sammy got right to work and he started to mix up a great big batch of batter. And he made trays of donuts. And when those donuts were baked, Sammy covered them with sweet pink frosting. And then he handed those trays of donuts to the beast, who ate them all. Yum, yum. Oh, yum, yum. I love pink donuts. Now that's the way it went every day for a whole year. Sammy made donuts for the beast, and the beast ate every single one of them. But because of that, he never left the cave, never went out in search of people to eat. And that beast started to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And in the whole year, why Sammy never once saw the beast brush his teeth. Ew, yuck. That explains the bad breath. Now, one morning, before Sammy got up to make the donuts, he was awoken by a terrible sound. And when he woke and looked to the floor of the cave, there was the beast rolling around on the ground, one great claw clutching his jaw. He said, "Oh, Sammy, you have to help me. It really hurts." After all of those donuts and never brushing his teeth, the beast had a terrible toothache. And when Sammy saw that, he got an idea. He said, "Oh, I know exactly what to do to help you. All you have to do is sit down right in front of me." And so the beast sat down. Ooh. Sammy said, "All you have to do is open up your mouth big and wide." And so the beast opened up his mouth. Sammy took a great big pair of pliers. He reached them into the beast's mouth. He grabbed a hold of a tooth and he pulled it out. Ugh. And the beast said, "Ow." Sammy took a hold of those pliers and he reached them into the beast's mouth again. And he grabbed a hold of another tooth. Ugh. And he pulled it out. Ugh. And the beast said, "Ow." Sammy took his pliers, reached them into the beast's mouth again. He grabbed a hold of another tooth, and he pulled it out. And the beast said, "Oh." You know how many teeth Sammy pulled out? 1,000 razor sharp teeth. And when he was done pulling out all of the beast's teeth, the beast looked up and said, "Oh, Sammy, that feels a lot better now. Thank you so much. I had a terrible toothache." And on the floor of the cave, there was a pile of teeth. Now that the beast didn't have any teeth, he was harmless. He could never go out and eat another person. So Sammy tied a rope around his neck and he said, "I'm going to take you home to meet Dad." He led the beast all the way down into the village. But before they went home, why, Sammy took that beast all the way up to the castle to pay a visit to the king. And when the king saw that little Sammy had taken care of the beast and he wasn't harmful anymore, why, he gave Sammy 100 bags of gold. The beast put Sammy in his pocket and carried all the bags of gold home for him. And when they got back to the bakery, why, Sammy introduced his father to the beast and showed him all the bags of gold. Sammy's father said, "I should have never doubted you. Who else would have thought of a way to make the beast harmless?" He thanked Sammy and then he said, "You know what? We're going to give your friend the beast a very special job. He's going to take the donuts up to the castle every day. And because you're so good at making donuts, you're going to help me in the bakery shop." And every day after that, Sammy would hand the beast a tray of donuts. And he would dutifully take that tray of donuts up to the castle and deliver them to the king. And every day when the beast came back to the bakery shop, Sammy would give him his own tray of donuts, which he ate, of course, in one gulp. And after he ate those donuts, he always said, "Oh, Sammy, I really love the donuts, especially the pink ones." And that's the story of the beast who no longer had 1,000 razor sharp teeth.